Now, how often are women just having a good time and here come a nigga trying to ruin their fun?
Yeah.
Let's just be honest. You can call it pandering, but if I was up here caping for white women, you wouldn't even mention that word. If I was up here caping for Hispanic women, you wouldn't even call it pandering. Only when we take pride and show love to black women do you call it pandering. Get your motherfucking mind right.
Why do you grown ass niggas want other niggas to play sides so fucking bad? Like, everything a nigga do and you don't agree with is pandering when he's talking about the women's side of things. I'm seeing Deontay Kyle whole situation with the male responsibility. I'm seeing creators I like, creators I don't like, just all speak on it from different standpoints. But I happen to agree with him to a certain extent. I don't think a lot of you niggas is understanding exactly what's being said. I understand your side from a standpoint of why should we be responsible for dumbass niggas in our community. Well, what I think he's saying is more nuanced than what you niggas are actually putting down in your fucking videos, trying to down another black man, by the way, for having a fucking opinion.
Guys, and welcome on another episode today. How are you guys doing? I hope you all are well. And in today's video, we are going to be talking about this conversation that so many people are having on TikTok right now, and it is the conversation of accountability. There is a creator on TikTok named Deontay Kyle. If you guys have probably come across his content is centered around, calling out the people in the community to take accountability. But there is a particular one that he did not sit well with the men in the community. He had made a video talking about how men should be responsible, accountable for some of the things that other men do. And this went viral quick and went left almost immediately. There are men online literally dragging him, telling him that he's just pandering to women. There is a particular creator as well with a huge following on TikTok, and he made a video stating that women are trying to find solutions instead of living in the reality of what is going on. Simply put, saying that women should be okay with the abuse and the treatment that they get from the men in the community instead of trying to find a solution to it. Before you know it, everywhere got scattered and people are sharing their take on this particular video. There is a woman who made a video who made a very good point at the beginning of her video, and I want you guys to see it. This video is going to be in part 2. The second part is going to be on the other channel as well. This woman intro was basically just hitting the nail on the head. And so grab your popcorn and let's get straight into it.
Peace.
You may not harass women. You may know how to take rejection. The majority of men that most women deal with do not. They have to be hyper vigilant because they have to be constantly scanning the room, making sure that they're in a safe situation.
It seems as if women want to perfect the social environment instead of existing within it. If you don't like the negative experiences that come along with like the environments you like to be in, remove yourself from said environments.
Investigators say 26-year-old Quintette Wilson is accused of shooting at a woman several times after she denied his offer of a ride.
I saw somebody one time on here say that if slavery only affected black women, the slaves would have never been freed. And I don't even know how to put into words how wholeheartedly and emphatically I believe that. Most black men don't give a fuck about equality. They don't give a fuck about freedom. They just want their freedom to act like white men and subjugate black women the way white men subjugate black women. And I clocked that at like 5 years old. Like, I have noticed my entire life how black men regard black women is fucked. Completely fucked. And so a bunch of people jumping on Deontay Kyle, who, by the way, in every single episode, he is on black people's necks to do better. This is not a new take from him. But everybody wants to be on his neck now because he's saying that men need to hold other men accountable, which is true. And they're on his neck because they don't want to hold other men accountable for abusing women. They just want their chance to abuse women. And they're mad because they don't get as many chances as these other men do to subjugate and control and dominate women. They don't give a fuck about us. I regard black men the same way I regard white people. Sketchy, 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 op, stay away from me. They're dangerous as fuck. And in my experience, like, and I'm not saying that white men are inherently safer, because we all know who they are, family annihilators and shit. But in my experience, when I'm out in public, and this has been the case since I was a little girl, it's not white men catcalling me. It's not white men making inappropriate comments about my body and trying to lure me to their car. White men don't do that to me. To me. I don't know what anybody else's experience was, or is. But a lot of these black dudes act animalistic as fuck. They act like breeders. They act like they act like lust demons. They're lustful as shit. And I'm not attracted to it. I don't like that dick first mentality. Like, and so they're not going to hold abusive men accountable, because in their mind, they have the right to treat black women however they feel like it in the moment, because in their mind, they own us because we are black women and they are black men, and they believe that a woman's rightful, divine, natural place is under a man. They are deeply, deeply misogynistic. And them being black doesn't dilute that misogyny at all. I remember one time I was at the farmer's market and I ran into this couple. I ran into this like young couple, and they were selling candles, and I was like, oh my God, they're so cute. So I started talking to them. And then I walked away, like, it's whatever, because I didn't buy a candle. Or no, I did buy a candle. And then I walked away. I was like, nice meeting you. Later that morning, I ran into the husband at the coffee shop, and we sat down and we got to talking, and he's black. His wife was mixed. She's like half black, half white. And we started talking about racism and dismantling racism, because that's what my conversations always turn into. Like, if you know me personally, you know, it takes maybe 2 minutes flat for the conversation to just completely devolve into systemic oppression topics. We started talking about racism and how what we as black people need to do to continue to what's the word? I'm blanking. To continue to overcome these obstacles, right? So as a black woman, I was like, yeah, and the same thing goes for feminism. Like, if women want to continue to overcome the obstacles that misogynistic patriarchy places on us, we also have to find community within each other. We also have to prioritize our well-being. We also have to protect our wounds and protect our bodies and not allow these men to treat us like objects. When I brought up feminism as a parallel conversation to racism, the way that this man completely glitched. Well, that's not exactly what I meant. You know, feminism, that's a completely different thing. Like, you know, women shouldn't be women. He went on an entire diatribe about how, well, if I told my wife that she needed to quit her job and just stay home, she would do it. And she knows not to question me. She was raised right because she's half Jewish. And, you know, black women. And then he's literally sitting there bragging about how much control he has over his wife and how racism's an issue, but misogyny and patriarchy aren't issues because that's the natural order of things. So that's how most black men think. Like, they draw the line at racism because it hurts them. But patriarchy benefits them. So they want to keep that system intact and just abolish racism so that they as black men can have as much power as white men have to oppress everybody else. They just want to be like white men. They don't want to actually be liberated because liberation takes away their privilege. Us getting rights, me getting rights, means less privilege for them. And they don't want that. They don't give a fuck about that. And I see all these think pieces trying to explain to men, and you know, whatever. I guess somebody has to do it. I guess somebody has to care. Somebody has to give a fuck, I guess. But I see all these think pieces of people trying to explain to men why they should care, why they should defend women, black women in particular, why they should listen to Deontay Kyle and hold other men accountable. Me personally, I think those conversations are pointless. I think those are dead-end conversations. You can't convince somebody to care if they don't care. They don't give a fuck about us. All they want are slaves. These dudes who refer to women unilaterally as bitches and hoes, they can't even find the common decency within themselves to just call us women. They have to say bitches and hoes, and if they don't want to say bitches and hoes, then they say females. They literally don't even want to humanize us enough to call us women. They blame everything that goes wrong in their lives on us. Oh, you're not holding the black man down, because it doesn't even occur to them that black men should also hold black women down. That doesn't occur to them, because in their mind, the devotion only goes one way. Because you can't be devoted to a person and control them at the same time, in their mind. They choose power over love. All they're concerned about is power. These men may have marched with Dr. King, but they would have scoffed at Angela Davis. They vote for Obama, didn't vote for Kamala. Just because somebody is black does not mean that they inherently understand oppression intersectionally. And I just feel like all of these think pieces trying to convince these men of what their responsibility is within a community, which is to protect and to provide, I think that we're wasting time. And I think that this conversation would be better served talking to the children. The children, the young boys, anybody under the age of like 18 are the ones that really need these conversations, because these men, I think we should just give up on them, in my personal opinion. If you are 30 years old, I don't even have to go that old. If you're 25 years old as a man, and as a black man specifically, and you still have not wrapped your head around the fact that black women aren't your enemy, this racist classist system is your enemy, you still think that black women are the ones keeping you down. You still think that if you walk up to a black woman and start abusing and harassing her and she calls the police, that black woman is your enemy. You still don't know how to take responsibility for your actions at 25, 30 years old. I think society should give up on you. I think you should be left behind, and I think that women should decline to have sex with you so that your bloodline ends with you, and you should be eradicated from the earth, because you're a danger to society. We shouldn't have to be teaching grown people the difference between right and wrong. And they act this way and they're on Deontay Kyle's neck because they just don't give a fuck. They just want to enslave us the way that white people enslaved them, and they only think slavery was bad because it was done to men.
What do you guys think on what Deontay Kyle said, the creator in yellow, who started the entire conversation of accountability? Because what was meant to be a conversation of self-reflection turned into him being called names, and even so many men like literally angry, like very angry, saying that he's pandering to women. Even in his own video, he had stated that if this video happens to be for a Latino woman, or maybe is directing it to white women, he does not think they will call him, like they will say he's pandering to women. But because it is a video advocating for black women to be shown love and all of that protected, now they are saying that he's pandering to women. Let me hear what you guys think about this video and what you think about the points that the other creator in black spoke about. I think this video is one of the video going viral that people are stitching to, because his entire point is not even the same at all with what the anti-cow was talking about. Like, he just basically saying there is no need to change a system that is already existing. There's no need to change a system that has put a certain demographic in danger, in abuse. Like, you just need to live in the system. Like, and I love that another creator that came on to the conversation talk about how his point is giving go back to Africa, like something like that, which I think it is very true. And I want to hear what you guys think about that. This person said, I support the anti on this one 100%. His point is, as a man who understands the perspective from a woman's point of view, it is our job to hold those men accountable who contribute to perpetuate the other side of the coin. That was Bro's entire point. One band, one sound. This one said, I feel like accountability is maybe the wrong word. We should be taking responsibility for creating spaces where women feel safe and can express whatever fears that they do have. I agree with this. The accountability comes when you have contributed to or committed abusive acts or created a space for that to happen. But he is saying that you don't need to try to change that. You don't need to change that narrative. He's literally perpetuating an idea that it is okay for Black women specifically to be in an abusive environment, to be around men that, okay, they just need to learn to live in it. This one said accountability does not mean you just have to crash out. Accountability is also not associating yourself with men you know harass women. Good. Deadbeat fathers, like your friends that you know are deadbeat, but you keep supporting them. This is what the message is all about. Like, stop literally clapping for these people and holding them accountable when they do BS like this. That is exactly what the auntie's video, that is the message that he was trying to pass across. But so many of them got angry. Deadbeat fathers, SARs, red pills, letting them know their actions are lame and you don't have with that. Have you all ever had the hope for the best, prepare for the worst? I don't care where I'm at. Anything can go bad at any time. And I think people know what type of energy setting location free. And you should be prepared to take the consequences from being at the location, no matter if the consequences are good or bad. This one said, let's start with the fact that we all are not a community. If we don't act like it, Black folks turn on each other, snitch on each other, etc. The moment when one turns on the other is when the moment one is told they are better than the other from someone who is not Black to create a division. Because everything thrives when it's divided. Yeah. When one panders, they are pandering to a group ideology, such as the bad behavior of women, like doing trifling actions, such as making false allegations, putting something in men's drink, in bracket, Cardi B. Okay? Women cheating, women preying on desperate men and profiling or taking advantage of their loneliness, etc. When people combat ideologies, they usually make up the worst possible scenarios that will more than likely never happen or had happened long time ago and hasn't happened since. At this point, women are moving no different than what men are doing. Let me hear what you guys think. I feel like even in the comment section, aside from the people that are stitching, people are dropping in what they think about this conversation. This creator in specific has always made video calling people out and telling the people in the community to be accountable. But this particular one seems to be getting over the head of so many men. Like, they are so angry, they are so pissed. And I think this is the reason why this creator said is slavery happens to be that thing, that act that only affects Black women would have never been free by now. So let me hear what you think about that in the comment section. I am going to see you guys in the next one.